I want to thank you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. Yeah, I was looking at your YouTube channel,
Hmm.
and it said that you're a professional social media specialist.
Yes.
So, what is that exactly? Like, what do you do?
Mhm.
What do you help people with their social media?
Yeah, I do. So I work right now. I work in wrestling specifically. So I work
Okay.
with wrestlers and promoters, but also I say wrestling professionals as
Yeah.
an umbrella. So it's everyone. It's any on-screen characters. It's any broadcasters.
Okay.
Referees, anything. But I do have clients outside of wrestling as well because this is also my day job, so-called.
Yeah.
So I help brands, companies, personalities build their social media, their online presence, and find their audience and unlock new income streams that have to do with their online presence as well.
So basically, you work with professional wrestlers.
Yes, yeah, I do.
What companies have you been working with?
Well, with like individual clients, with wrestlers specifically, I don't want to name drop because
Okay.
social media is such a personal thing for a lot of people. A lot of people, it takes a lot of courage to even admit that you want help. But when
Yeah.
it comes to companies on different levels,
Hmm.
from starting from helping them build their socials and ending with simple things like content packages, because I also create content. I've worked with
Yeah.
a lot of companies, with a lot here in Florida locally. So that's CCW, Pride of Wrestling, Establishment Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Action, and I've also worked with content specifically with Progress Wrestling. So with Grab House, with Colorado Wrestling Connection, like a lot. I could go on.
Oh wow. So you must be busy.
I am. I try to be. I try to stay busy. Busy is good, I think.
So what made you go towards the professional wrestling route?
I think it's just the fact that I love wrestling a lot. I've been a fan since I was a child. I
Okay.
was 11 years old. So it was definitely a bit of a journey of putting all the things that I'm good at and that I want to do
Hmm.
together. Because in wrestling, I started as a blogger, and then I started doing broadcasting. So I started doing commentary, backstage interviewing, ring announcing here and there, and then it transitioned more into longer sit down interviews because that's just what I like. I really like doing them. Um, and then I realized that I've built my social media from the ground up, and I've realized that I accumulated so much information when it
Wow.
comes to social media and digital tools, specifically in wrestling. And
Hmm.
I also have an education in new media. I have a master's degree, so it took a while for it to click, but
Yeah.
it did click eventually.
And you said you worked in the media for about 7 years now.
Yes, yeah. Specifically in wrestling, I've been working for
Uh,
7 years in different qualities. Like I said, be it
yeah.
broadcasting or interviewing or content creation, or now this media guidance or coaching.
So what about wrestling do you love?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like a lot of us kind of stumble upon it and just fall in love. And that's
Mhm.
what happened to me, because when I started watching, I was a child and English is not even my first language. So when I first
Okay.
started watching, I barely spoke English.
Oh, okay.
So I
Wow.
didn't
Okay.
really know what was happening, but it captivated me so much that honestly, wrestling became for me a driving force in me learning English as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
wrestling has just been such a vital part of my life ever since I was a kid that I can't put my finger on like what exactly it is that I like. I think it's everything. It's the visuals, it's the premise that it's a collaboration, because even though
Mhm.
I do enjoy combat sports here and there, wrestling is ultimately not a combat sport. And I like
Oh,
that
yeah.
it's not really built on violence as much as MMA would be, for example. So definitely that as well. The characters, the looks, the outfits, just all.
So you said that you started watching wrestling when you were 11.
Yes.
So did you start with the WWF or the WWE?
Yeah, I started with WWE when I was 11. I was in the at the start of the PG era, I think, like right at the
Okay.
very start. And yeah, I think a lot of us start with WWE just because that's what's accessible,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of what happened to me because I was flipping through the channels and I accidentally found it. But then for a long time, I was only watching WWE because I didn't really know that there were alternatives,
Oh,
and this is
really?
something that now. It's an amazing time to be a wrestling fan
Oh,
right now
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
It
there's
is.
so much different wrestling for everyone and it's accessible and it's out there and you can choose whatever you want, so it's times are different now.
Oh, yeah, it is really different. Right now, we get wrestling every single day.
Yeah,
Every day.
multiple times per day.
Yeah, yeah. So now, do you watch like AEW, TNA, New
Now I've
Japan Wrestling?
definitely stirred away from WWE a little bit.
Oh,
I
really?
try to keep up with everything because of my work and because
Yeah.
I need to keep an eye most of all on what tools are being used, how the broadcasts work, this kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So I try to keep an eye on everything, but I've definitely been more and more preferring AEW, and I really like TNA, NWA. I really like GCW. I really like AAA. So I like lucha stuff a lot, and I
Mhm.
do. I love all wrestling, but I feel like the longer you enjoy something, the more specific you want it to be, and the
Yeah,
weirder you
yeah.
want it to be in a way. So I do really like deathmatch wrestling. Like I admire bigger wrestling promotions from the business standpoint a lot, and from the polished product standpoint a lot. And all those wrestlers who made it to the top are obviously world class
Oh, yeah.
athletes. But then
Mhm.
sometimes all you really want is like a tiny deathmatch show at a bar, no ring, no nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, does it feel alive? Like this is me. I like all kinds of wrestling.
And also, was it hard being like a commentator in wrestling?
Yeah, especially you can tell I have an accent.
Yeah.
So I started out in Russian. I started out like back
Oh,
where I
wow.
came from.
Okay.
So and now I do it in English, and it was definitely a journey. And also, when I started doing it in Russian, I was doing it for a wrestling website that my friend owned at the time, and he
Okay.
got me into it because I was already doing interviews at the time, and it was a tough crowd. Let me tell you, like a very male-dominated field, obviously, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
Russian masculine Russian men. I go, who's this friggin' girl commentating wrestling? And they were very critical of me. And now looking back, I'm kind of grateful for it almost. Um,
Okay.
when I left that website, and the reason I left was not because I wasn't happy with anything, but I was doing like Russian dub for AW Dark.
Okay.
It started out, when Dark first started out, it
Yeah.
was shorter episodes, there were a lot of new faces, it was exciting. And then towards the end of it, well, not actually the end, towards the end it got a lot better actually, but towards like the middle of its life cycle,
Yeah.
it was really, really long episodes, like almost 2 hours, and every other match was a squash. And I just decided that I just don't have the time in my day to do that. It's too much. So that's why I left. I, focused on other things. And when I left, I did such a heartfelt post on the website, like, oh, thank you for this experience. I love all of you.
Yeah.
And the comments were like, oh my God, thanks God she's gone.
Really?
So yeah, I don't think it's a testament to what I'm like as a commentator. Like I
Yeah.
think I'm pretty good. I think it was more like, oh, like she's a girl, this blonde girl is commentating on wrestling. I think it was more that. But yeah, it was a good experience. But yeah, and for me with my accent, it was definitely a journey of acceptance, and I still work on
Mhm.
it. I still try to uh, get rid of it, maybe not necessarily fully, but for my English to be as correct as it can possibly be is the goal. um, so I definitely still work on it, but it's definitely cool to see role models, to see other people who do it, who are successful, that have accents. Like I always bring up Alex Koslov because he also has a Slavic accent and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a great commentator. So it's definitely a journey, but I love doing it.
So yeah, so you're Russian, but your Spanish is really good too.
Thank you. I feel like my Spanish is worse than my English, but I'm
Oh,
also
wow.
working on it. It's always a work in progress.
Yeah. So how did that become? How did you start learning Spanish?
I actually kind of grew up in Spain.
Oh, really?
We lived there when I was very, very little with my mom when I was like 3 years old.
Okay.
And now my family lives there part time and I live there part time. So I'm just in Spain a lot.
All
So
right.
it was more a product of my environment than me, sitting down and being like, hey, I think I need to learn Spanish. But now it is. Now I think, for wrestling, it's a very good language to speak. I'm still a little shy with it. I only speak it when I absolutely have to, when I'm either making
Okay.
content or when I meet a wrestler who doesn't speak English.
Oh, yeah.
then, but I definitely need more practice. And I've been, with Pride of Wrestling, specifically here in Florida, it's very predominantly Puerto Rican. So that has been great for practice. And then I'm also going to a show and meeting some people this coming Saturday, which is also very predominantly Puerto Rican. So I've been getting some good practice.
Okay. And when you interview wrestlers, to you, who do you prefer? Are the men more easier to interview, or are the women more
Hmm. I
easier?
never thought of that as like a gender thing. And it's interesting that they haven't because, I'm a raging feminist and I think of a lot of things from the standpoint of gender. But this one's never, I think it really, really depends on the person.
All
So
right.
many different personalities in wrestling. And you would think just because they're wrestlers, they're all these extroverts who just can't wait to talk. But no, it's really, really not the case. Some
Yeah.
people you really need to help come out of their shell
Mhm.
if they want to. Some people just don't want to. But
Oh, yeah.
no, it's not that. This specifically, I don't feel like it's a gender thing. No.
So if you do interview somebody who's a little shy and stuff like that, how do you get them to break out of that shell as an interviewer?
So two main things for me personally is thing number one is I try to talk about something that excites them.
Hmm.
And you have to do your research and maybe find things that are maybe not even about wrestling, that are about their life, something adjacent that they're very passionate about, and also that they don't get to talk about a lot. So that's something that in my experience definitely gets people excited to talk and excited to share. But another one is actually a piece of advice that RJ City gave me. I've known him for a while, since before AEW, and I consider him a mentor, and I consider him the best interviewer in wrestling. He's just so brilliant. And he gave me this piece of advice. He said, prepare to an interview like you're about to interview a mannequin. Assume
Oh.
that they're going to give you nothing, that there's going to be
Okay.
one word answer to every question, like a nod, a yes or no. And then when you're over prepared, essentially, you're ready for anything. And even
Okay.
if there's, awkward silences, or even if they are not very talkative, you can still make something out of it when you're so prepared.
Wow, that's great. And so in your 7-year career with professional wrestling, did you ever think about getting into the ring and doing it?
Well, I get that question a lot. Maybe it's because I look a certain way. Maybe people, hate to see a 6 foot woman go to waste.
Yeah,
But
true, true.
honestly, no. I think like maybe when I was very little, obviously when you watch wrestling, you're like, oh, I could do that. Like maybe yeah, I did have a thought, a fleeting thought. But no, I might look a certain way, but I'm not a very athletic person.
Okay.
Even though I've enjoyed like consuming sports all my
Yeah.
life. I used to be a really big soccer fan when I was younger, and then I just kind of shifted my preference towards wrestling because I had to divide my time a certain way.
Yeah.
So had no more time for soccer, I guess. Um, I still enjoy MMA. I enjoy UFC, but I'm not the sporty person. Like I work out just to stay in shape, but
Okay.
no, that's not my thing. I'll stick to my camera and microphone.
Like the wrestlers that you interview, do they ever invite you to go work out at the gym with them to learn some of the moves in the business? Or
Honestly, no, that's never ever happened to me.
Really?
Maybe because I give off like any of that, you know.
Oh
Like,
man,
no, never, ever.
man.
I don't think I could like work out with a professional wrestler. I don't think I could keep up. I don't think
Really?
it's enough. Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. Man, that's funny because I interviewed one other girl who is in the independent scene where she's an interviewer,
Hmm.
and she told me that every day they ask her to come to the ring, see how it feels.
Or maybe she's very like fit. I don't know. Maybe I should step up my game.
Maybe. But yeah, so how long do you see yourself in this business?
What do you mean exactly?
Like, how long do you see yourself interviewing all these other wrestlers, or is there something else that you would love to do?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I see myself like in a broader sense, I see myself in wrestling until the wheels fall off. Like it's I don't see
Into the wolf?
something
Okay,
that I would ever quit. Uh,
okay,
and I think I think a lot of people in wrestling are like that because for
yeah.
a lot of people it's a not a job, it's like a lifestyle, it's a passion, it's
Hmm.
so I don't think I would ever like quit wrestling.
Hmm.
But one of my goals is I would definitely like to work with a bigger televised promotion. And I would definitely like to, be contracted and maybe like work exclusively with them as well, because I feel like my skills can be put to an even better use on a larger scale. And I have a lot of ideas and I see a lot of blind spots that make a lot of the TV companies leave money on the table. So I would love to be useful in that regard. But ultimately, in terms of the larger picture, like I said, I'll just do this until I die.
Oh wow, okay. And I have two more questions. I'll let you go. You said that you had like 500 subscribers or something.
Yeah, 500,000 across all my.
Yeah, the whole thing. So how long did that take?
Pretty much the entire time, pretty much 7 years. I think we
Okay.
reached like this number maybe about a year and a half ago. But no, yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. Virality is definitely a big thing and it can happen, but you can't count on going viral, especially now in this oversaturated landscape. And especially now that we're redefining what it even means to go viral. Because
Hmm.
10 years ago, or even 7 years ago, when I started, when something went viral, uh, that meant that everyone saw it, everyone knew about it.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
would go to like school, and everyone's like, "Oh, have you seen this video? Like, with this meme, blah blah." It meant like viral meant viral,
yeah,
ubiquitous.
yeah.
Now with how much content there is and how
Oh
many
yeah,
creators, we've completely lost that phenomenon. Now something goes viral, it can become a meme. Like some people saw it, some people didn't. More people
hmm,
saw it on X than on
yeah,
Instagram, or vice versa. Like it's definitely watered down what it means to go viral. And also when we talk about virality as a factor in content creation, it's also something that we use to define your content that just does significantly better than your other content, and that you can kind of sort of predict a little bit. But then
hmm,
again, your viral content can never be anywhere over like 5-10% of your content. You can't just pop off and all of your stuff to do so well. And I see creators get discouraged by it all the time, and you
yeah.
shouldn't, because one of my clients, actually, she's a content creator in like the feminist side of things, and
Oh
one of her videos did really really well, and she had at one point like 1 million profile views, and she got a lot of followers from it.
yeah.
She was like,
Wow.
okay, finally. And it was the result of hard work. It wasn't accidental. It was a long journey too, of me with her figuring out what her niche is and what kind of
Yeah.
content she makes. She's like, okay, finally. And then she posts another video, and on the hype of that, it also does really well. She's like, oh my god, amazing. But then that hype inevitably, after peak, there comes a
Yeah.
slope.
The fall.
So you post your next video, it does better than whatever you were doing before you went
Hmm.
viral. But your every subsequent video, even though that would be beautiful and amazing, can do better and better and better and better than they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
one. And people get discouraged, but you really shouldn't be, because growth is not one subsequent uphill line. there's plateaus, there's some drops. It's
Mhm.
the overall trend that matters. So yeah, I can't even remember how I got here from. What was the question?
I forgot the question too.
So how long it took? It took a long time.
Yeah.
Is the answer. It took a long time.
And my last question is, do you have any advice for other content creators that are looking to do this, like what we're doing?
Yeah. Well, pretty much advice for content creators is like my job is what I do.
Yeah,
So
of course it is.
more in-depth information, I have free webinars every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go on my social media, on my Instagram, it's at XeniaDidThat, like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You can have a link in my bio. You can sign up, and there's free webinars every Monday. But
Okay.
as a general piece of advice, if you want to start creating content, first of all, you need to have something to say to the world. Because I see so many people starting content creation just because they think it's easy, or just
Yeah.
because they think it's quick money or whatever it is. It's
Mhm.
not. And I
No.
see a lot of people starting it and then going like, oh, what should I make content about? What should I do? That should not be a question. By the time that you start, you should know what you want to say.
Yep.
And then when you do start, again, as corny as it maybe sounds, just do it. Like if it's just make the content, sit down, film the video, or if it's in wrestling and you want to do it with talent, then support your local scene, go to your local show, connect with your local wrestlers, connect with your local wrestling school. I see a lot of people again making that mistake of they had just started, for example, right? Their podcast has like I don't know 100 followers, and they try to get interviews with people from AEW, right, or from,
Mhm.
and it's like okay, like good on you for trying. Obviously, no one's gonna attack you for trying, right?
Yeah.
But you can't act surprised or insulted when those people say no, or when those people ask for a fee to do that.
Oh yeah.
Because when you're not adding value, and you're not when you don't have a lot
Yeah.
of exposure, when there's this and there's an imbalance between how much exposure they have and how much you have,
Yep.
you can't be surprised when people try to balance it out. So it's good to aim high, but start small. Think global.
Yeah.
So
But I really appreciate your time.
absolutely, yeah.
It was great to talk with you,
Likewise.
and I hope we can do it again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
And is there anything that you want to plug or?
Yeah, well, like I said, my social media, XeniaDidThat. For if you're a wrestling fan, you'll find show coverage. You'll find interviews in 3 languages with over 200 wrestlers.
All right.
And if you are a wrestling professional, you can tap the link in my bio, or you can read my pinned posts to learn more about what I do. And come to the free webinars, check it out. And if you want to work with me personally, you can again either check out the webinar first and see if you like it, or you can reach out to me. You can DM me or email me, and let's schedule a call. The discovery call is free, and we can talk about how I can help you elevate your brand and unlock new income streams for yourself.